All right, we got another resume review. This one from Jason. This is Esports Resume. I like this resume. There is some uh, notable esports names and experiences. So I'm curious at how we're going to up this and to see what he's doing. First impressions, one page. Amazing. I love that. I love that you didn't use the whole page when it came to like just filling it and blasting it into the tiny margins and just filling it with text. That being said, this still feels very cluttered or compact. I would instead use this kind of awkward space here and fit that into the rest of your content to just give more breathing room in the rest of your resume. I think there's also room for a executive summary because you'd have control over the first impression you give. And that would be the executive summary. But either way, I'm not intimidated by this. I'm excited. I see TESPA, Call of Duty League, Collegiate Star League. I'm not familiar with these, but that's perfectly fine. Those are names that I recognize, and I'm interested in this resume. At least, like, I want to see like what's going on. Me personally, I also want to jump into these before this because I'm not familiar with that, but that's perfectly fine. Actually, and that's because you're going in reverse chronological order. But maybe you change that up if that's more important. Because again, I want you to know that the further down I go, the more interest is lost, right? And the better the beginning is, the longer my attention span lasts reading this resume. That's why education's at the bottom. That's really, really good. I really, really like that. Additional experience. Yeah, apparently this is less important than this, and that's why there's less bullet points. That's good information hierarchy. Okay, let's jump into things. Let's zoom in a little bit. Work experience. Business Process Specialist Apprentice at Liberty University. Set up and sent 1,700 emails, voice blasts, and text blasts with populations up to 400,000 recipients, primarily made up of prospective students, donors, and alumni. Just reading the first bullet point, I have no idea. I don't know what you're doing. I have no idea what I'm looking for. I don't know if is this a business person? Is this a social media person? Is this a marketing person? So I'm already confused. Reviewed SQL code, HTML, hyperlink syntax. Okay. So this bullet point is very similar to this one. And, okay. Create 400 reports for marketing stakeholders with statistics on mass communication. So I'm not seeing what the point of this is. And it needs to be really, really obvious to the person reading it. And because I don't have context on what this resume is about or what it's applying for, that's what I'm reading from this. So take that input carefully, because maybe this is catered towards someone that makes sense to. But right now I'm just like, I sent a lot of emails. This is forcing me to think heavily on why this is important rather than it being obvious immediately. So that is what I need you to work on with this. Like, what was the impact of this? Why was this important? And get to the point. Esports director, Liberty Esports. So these feel like it might be related to each other. Co-founded the Liberty Esports program in a professional and competitive environment. Provided leadership for 15 officers and over 120 esports athletes competing in 12 esports. Cool. Oh no, I like that. Worked with Liberty Student Government for event logistics and program direction. Managed partnership with Coca-Cola, Savage Apparel, Ubisoft College, Homeward Studios, Discord, and TESPA for program. It's like, whoa. Okay, so why is this break the rule of reverse chronological order? Everything here, like I said, this interests me so much more than this, right? I know it's out of order, but you're going to lose me here. You're going to lose me here. And I won't care if it's out of order. Like, I want to be interested in you. And that's maybe why you put a summary at the top, because then it's like, I know you do esports stuff, and then I looked this. Okay, whatever. I don't care about this. I'm gonna skip through this because I already knew it existed in the if you gave it to me in the summary. All right. So, what am I getting from this? This is just background information. Okay. I think this could be better. I think no, this is okay. I feel like there could be something better, like co-founded the Liberty Esports program from 0 to 120 esports athletes and 12 esports with 15 officers, something like that. I think you can combine those, right? Because this part is just like anyone can say that. It's kind of cool to see your focus being trying to make it like legit. That's what I see. And that's cool. Like, I appreciate that. But I think there's something like more impactful you could probably put in there. Worked with Liberty Student Government for event logistics and program direction. Okay. I think there's probably something missing in there too, where you could talk about like, say, worked with. Like, that's not a very strong action verb or phrase. So I feel like maybe like coordinated logistics for 12 events with over 400 attendees per, like 400 attendees with the Liberty Student Government. I think rephrasing that could make it stronger, show impact, and then still get the point across you're trying to get, because this is not the important part. This is the important part. So get that in the front. Manage partnerships with Coca-Cola, Savage. Okay, this is awesome. Like, I want to know maybe like what did that look like? What was the impact of that? Like, bringing in revenue, being able to pay, being able to get free equipment, be able to give away more swag, be able to bring in more legitimate, like, what is why is this important? Why is getting these partners important? I know they are, but tell me, like, show me why this is important and what problem this solved, because I think that's going to make this more impactful. General manager, College Call of Duty League. Co-founded the CCL and expanded it from an initial 8 teams to 72 teams in 2 years. Wow, that's amazing. That's super cool. That's like, that's like, to me, I'm just like, wait, how does that manage? 72 teams is a lot. Like, what is going on here? So right there, you have my interest. How are you going to captivate it? Keep it and captivate me. Research business setup and manage league communications and staff logistics. Okay, that's like a checkbox of what you've done. That's okay. Maybe there's something more powerful when you talk about impact, but I'm okay with that sentence. Oversaw moderation and execution of bans, punishments, and rule infractions for Discord community. Okay, why is that important? If it's really related to the job you're applying for, great. You know, how big was the Discord community? That's something I want to see there. Maybe even like how can you quantify the busyness of the Discord channel? Like, if you're saying like manage, like, oversaw moderation and execution of bans, punishments, moderation of a 500 plus member Discord channel with an average of 12,000 chat communications daily or something like that. Like, that's just like, whoa, that seems like a lot. Is that a lot? And I don't know, maybe that's not a lot, maybe that is, but that makes me start thinking like, whoa, that's impact. Like, you're controlling like the narrative around your moderation at being like, I moderated a lot of people in a very busy Discord, right? I think those numbers can make that extra impact on this bullet point. Event support coordinator, TESPA. Whoa, that's a big legit league. Planned event support themes, content, and resources for fall 2020 event. Acted as a public face representative for TESPA, communicating with chapter leaders. Created learning material for university chapter events. Developed TESPA community spin down program due to COVID-19. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so you were just, again, saying your responsibilities and things that you achieved, but I don't see the impact and the numbers behind it. So this is kind of okay. It looks like it was a short time, so that makes me feel like, oh, you're just like getting things done but didn't create impact. But if you're able to tell me that you created a huge impact in 4 or 5 months, that would be pretty impressive. So talk about the events that you did. Yeah, I'd rather hear about the one event that you planned and what happened and the impact you made on that than hearing like all your responsibilities. And again, these are going to be shaped by what you're applying for. Campus Gaming Ambassador, Collegiate Star League. Woo, Collegiate Star League. And it's not capitalized, so don't capitalize that. Very minor gripes, but this is important when it comes. If they knew Collegiate Star League and they didn't know that, this is like those attention to details that are really important. That if you're not able to make a perfect resume that you're supposed to spend tons of time in with no typo, how are you gonna do when I give you a job? Right? That's really, really important. You know, if this is a social media position and I see grammar and spelling errors when you have spell check on, like that would worry me. So this, again, you don't want to have these small details as a problem. Promoted Collegiate Star League to college students through events and social media. Cool. Hosted 5 Collegiate Star League sponsored events on campus for students. Formed 8 student esports teams to compete in Star League tournaments. So, hello. Thank you for the follow. Manny, welcome. Okay, well, Manny's application is obviously going to have to come next. Where was I? Okay, so promoted Collegiate Star League, hosted. You don't need to say Collegiate Star League anymore. You could either say CSL and I'd get it probably, or you could just like, we're already talking about Collegiate Star League, so you could save some space with that. From 8 student esports teams, hosted 5 events, promoted. So I feel like it started off so strong here and you like lost steam in writing your resume here. Like, show some impact. Give me some more detail. Don't give me a list of your responsibilities. If you really are trying to just list off your responsibilities, that's fine. But if you really have something more impactful when you've been here for almost a year, like tell me more stories about like what these sponsored events were and like what you accomplished through that. Like show me impressive things. If the only impressive thing you're saying is that you've done 5 of them and you've formed 8 of these, like maybe that's all you got. But I bet there's more value you can extract from this without me having to dig for that information. Right? So let's start with the first one. Promoted Collegiate Star League to college students through events and social media. Promoted events by creating social media campaigns that maybe increased attendance from 300 the previous year to 500 the next year, something like that. Or maybe the staff that you managed to promote that, or the direction that you gave. Give me some impact. Hosted 5 collegiate events, so attendance numbers, prize pool, those are some accomplishments and impact. Student esports teams to compete in Star League tournaments. Education, or additional experience. Ooh, not education. Esports consultant, crew leader, point of sale software developer. So you're just including these to include them. That's fine, and they don't take up much space. I'm okay with you if you feel like you need to put those in there. But I'm really interested in like what this esports consultant is. This hurts me. You write out the full month and then suddenly you shorthand February, but then August is full again, and then June, and then you shorthand August to AUG. That's weird. That's inconsistency. Those things bother me, and I think they're actually really important. BS in business administration, so you're not graduated yet. That's really cool that you have so much actual like notable esports experience. Specialization, entrepreneurship, organizations. That's cool. It's nice to see you doing other stuff besides this, and you're still like really involved in things, and entrepreneurship is a big deal for you. That's really cool. So now I know your business administration. So I think in conclusion, this is a really good resume. You have very notable experiences. I think it's lacking focus. So we got to make sure that depending on the job you're applying for, you really need to tailor like these bullet points to them, to those specific jobs, and reordering things because you lost my interest here. And if I was a super, super busy person, I might, unless I need like an administrative assistant, all this stuff that's probably more relevant to what you're interested in, what your education is, and what your passion is, it gets lost if I don't get through this. So that's why I think an executive summary can help people to get focused and hooked into what you're trying to do. And then again, a little more spacing to give more white space instead of just keeping all your white spaces at the bottom. I think this is a really good resume. I think you're very on way to potentially finding an esports job right out of college because you're not out of college yet. Oh, my one advice to you, since you have at least a year. Whoa, you have less than a year. Less than a year going. I'll think about what kind of jobs you want in esports, and then look at either LinkedIn profiles and resumes of the people that have those jobs or job postings and figure out what's missing in your resume. And then really, really focus hard on maybe those things, on getting that experience in your last semester of college or last 2 semesters, last year of college. Thank you so much for this resume. Thank you so much for this resume. I think this is really good, Jason. I think that's how you pronounce your name. Keep it up.